Hello and welcome to my greenhouse. It's raining outside, much needed rain. I can't wait to go to my plot tomorrow and see how much good the rain has done. I have a little bit of a leak in the greenhouse, so I'm hoping it doesn't show on the camera. It's quite cool in here. I think it's been the coolest it's been since I've had the greenhouse. So it's 17 degrees and the humidity is at 60. So quite a change for in here. I have to shut the window and the door. So I just wanted to show you a few of the things I've been picking up over the last couple of weeks. Some of it I've ordered in, some of it I've been to the garden centres and purchased some bits and pieces. My local garden centre is Dobby's, so that's where I tend to go because it is just down the road. Although I love going to all sorts. I'm hoping on Thursday, as it is my birthday, my husband's going to take me out of my hometown and go somewhere else for a change. So here are some of the things that I purchased recently. So seeds. I do have a lot of seeds. I find that whenever I go, I get new ideas, or I change my mind a lot of what I'm going to grow here, what I'm going to grow at the plot. Everything is weather dependent. So I did purchase a lot of things that would grow fantastic in the sun because I don't have any water at the allotment. And I picked up a lot of leafy things ready to do a sowing. So at the end of summer, I can pop them out in my garden and I haven't got to worry about the leaves burning and wilting and dying because of the weather. So I'm assuming a lovely sunny spring and summer probably means a very rainy autumn and winter. So that's what I'm going with. If I'm wrong, I've got other seeds that I can sow. So I picked up some more Swiss chard. Now, this is the first year that I have grown it, and this is the first year I've ever tried it, and I love it. I'm a spinach girl because you can stick it in absolutely everything. And I had my spinach this year, right up until it bolted, and then I chopped it all up and went and fed it to the ducks. There's always a use for spinach, I find. I could have frozen it, but what I will do is freeze the one that I'm going to do in autumn when I've got my second sowing. And then I will freeze that then to continue. But I'm not the biggest fan of it frozen. Even when I put it in pastas, I'm not the biggest fan. I do like it just slightly wilted. So I found the Swiss chard worked really well for that, and it gives you a little bit of a crunch as well, which is fantastic. I love this stuff, but it requires a lot of water, so it will be going in my garden, not the allotment. And then I've got Chinese cabbage. I cook with a lot of Asian food. I think it's some of the best food in the world. I did do a sowing of these, but only 2 survived. I will see if I've got one to hand. I don't think I have. Maybe they died as well. Oh my gosh. Or did I plant them out? I planted them out. It's fine. So yeah, so only 2 germinated out of the pack. And because I want to use a lot of this stuff and it is a cool winter crop, I will be using that quite a bit later. So probably at the end of next week, I will sow these because they did germinate really quickly. It's just a shame only 2 did. And then cucumber. I picked up the Quick Snack F1. That's the one that I picked up. There were so many to choose from. Now, as you already know, I have got cucumbers growing here at my greenhouse and at the allotment plot. They are different varieties. I love cucumbers. There isn't many people in the house that do eat the cucumbers, but I do think they are just the smaller ones, fantastic just to pick up and snack on. I thoroughly enjoy them, and I like dipping them in hummus and in anything like that. I am great with, even sometimes a bit of mayo, but they are fine just by themselves too. So I picked up another one of those. I need to sow that ASAP. And then golden eye beetroot, that one there. So I grew your bog standard beetroot and I had masses of it. All of it germinated. It was fantastic. I've got some in a box full of sand, ready for when I want it. I probably have it at home twice a week. I like it with feta. That's my favourite way of having it. But I also like it roasted with honey or with a roast dinner. So the plan is to grow some more because by the time this is ready, I would have probably eaten everything else, and I'd like some for Christmas Day and Boxing Day. So I'm trying to plan ahead And on Christmas Day and Boxing Day, the plan is to eat as much things as possible that I have grown myself. That's where I'm going with that one, because I think I will enjoy Christmas dinner so much more if I put the hard work in and the effort to grow them. And then the last one is another courgette. So my courgette has been in the ground probably, I would say, for 5 weeks now. I've had 7 courgettes already. I have 2. I have a summer ball courgette, which is just a bit bigger than a tennis ball, and your standard yellow courgette. Don't ask me why I prefer the yellow one. I find it less bitter. I've probably got about 6 to ready to go and harvest tomorrow. I'm never going to eat all 6 when I have one already in the fridge. So what I tend to do with them is I will gift them to family and friends. But I really do need to find a fantastic recipe that requires a lot. So today I used them in my kitchen. I made some little egg tarts with courgette in them. But I need to find a different way of cooking with them other than just putting a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper and then eating them that way. Just something different so I can definitely use them better. So these will be going in ASAP as well, because I know that once the courgettes have given you plenty of fruit, it will just stop producing. So when that happens, I want another one to then start producing so I can carry on through the rest of the summer and early autumn with having courgettes. So I bought these seeds. I've also picked up my bird's absolute favourite. So I do have a bird table here. I think they help with the pest control. Although I haven't really had a problem with slugs this year. I've had a couple, but nothing major. The ladybirds are definitely doing their job this year. But I buy a big one of these, and this will last me 4 weeks. So I like to soak them in water for 20 minutes before I put them out for the birds. But unfortunately, this really, really hot weather has meant I haven't seen the birds because they're coming at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm fast asleep and I'm not getting up for anything. Or sometimes the foxes got hold of my last bag and ripped it open, but they didn't eat the mealworms. They were just being a pain in the bum. I get foxes in my garden. It is not fun. However, they do stay off my vegetable patch. I have a camera in my garden and they do stay off of it, which is surprising because I thought they were scavengers, so I thought they would just munch their way through everything, but they don't. I've also picked up one of these for doing my seeds, the pump action one. So I've bought that one because I have got a little sprayer, but my hand hurts. I have arthritis in my hands, so it hurts my hands to spray, whereas this is going to be a much better option. So I'm really happy I picked up that one. Home Bargains at the moment, I've got a lot of half price stuff, so I picked up from there. And then I like to think ahead. So I have got lots and lots of coverings ready for when the weather does change and the price goes back up really high. Whereas in summer, I find these are cheaper to buy. So I've got a really big one that's going to cover the whole of my bed, and I got some smaller ones for my fruit bushes and a couple of the little trees that I've got. So I picked up those ones, and then that's just some plant pots there. And I picked up this one here. So on my fence I've got lots of climbing plants. I've got clematis, I've got sweet pea, I've got grapes, climbing hydrangea. And I do like it to look very natural. I don't like pea netting. I think it's awful stuff. So I buy rope. So let me just see if I can get it out without getting it out. So it's obviously diamond shapes like this. You probably will see it in one of my other videos. So I stick that up with a staple gun because then you can't see any nails sticking out or anything like that. And then my plants grow up this, and it just looks so nice because it's so much more natural. Not expensive either, and you can get different thicknesses as well. And then I picked up these, so one for here, one for the allotment, just to give the weeds a little bit of a dig around. Sometimes you need a sharper end just to proper get into the soil, especially when the soil is as hard as what it is at the moment. I don't know what they're called, so if anyone knows what they're called. Yeah, the soil at my allotment is really, really tough, and I'm really struggling with getting the fork in or even the edging tool. Nothing is going in at the moment. And that is nearly it, apart from... Ooh, is that it? No. I picked up just some little forks just to put in some of the seeds that I've got, because I do reuse containers, so I haven't got all fancy containers that I sow all my seeds in. If I bought anything from the garden centre, I will reuse the packaging as much as possible, because it is all single-use plastic, so I will try and reuse it as much as possible until it's no more, until it's completely worn out or completely damaged, and then I will take it up the tip and get rid of it that way. So yeah, so that's my haul. What have I got left to do today? So I haven't really been in the garden today, but I am going to mulch tonight, so I'm going to wait for a little bit more rain. I think we've got about another 20 minutes of rain, and then I'm going to pop my straw onto my pumpkins, because at the moment I'm watering it 3 times a day. First thing in the morning, and then by lunchtime it's absolutely dry and wilted again, and then again in the evenings, and then in the morning it's dry again. I mean, I've got 4 plants in a big litre, so I would say that's 80 litres, the container, easily. And the idea is I've got it outside the front of my property. I would like the pumpkins to grow over the pot onto my stoned area, hopefully produce lots of pumpkins, so then in autumn I can have it as my autumn display, and then fingers crossed I still have them at Halloween, or some of them at least, and that can again be part of my display instead of buying lots of plastic bits and pieces. I thought I'd go all natural this year. Whether it works or not, you'll have to come back and find out another time. But yeah, so I'm going to just do a little bit of mulching. I bought quite a bit of compost today as well for all the seeds that I'm going to sow. But tomorrow is going to be a sowing day. I'm going to get as much in as possible while it's a bit cooler, because the soil on the seeds were just drying out too quickly. And tomorrow I will be down the plot to do a harvest and to check on everything after the rain, and hopefully my tank has filled up a little bit and I'll have some water to put onto the pumpkins, because they need daily watering, and the courgette plant and the peas and the beans and the cucumbers. They're the ones at the moment that are taking up a lot of my time. And I'm hoping, again, fingers crossed, that I will have a purple cauliflower to pull up tomorrow. So I will see you again soon, and thank you for watching. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe. If not, I hope you come back for another look a little later. Bye bye.